It starts with the vision of the businesses to create a world-leading company focusing and combating on antimicrobial resistance using precision medicine tools, both DNA tests and informatics. When you move to the next level, OpGen has DNA tests that have been built on platforms that are distributed platforms, both from Thermo Fisher and QIAGEN. Curetis have DNA tests that are on their proprietary sample-to-answer platforms. There's an opportunity to integrate there and migrate the OpGen tests to the Curetis platforms. And then on the informatics side, we anticipate bringing the two capabilities together, both our Lighthouse tools and the Ares DB capabilities, to create the world's leading antimicrobial resistance informatics platform. We're spending a lot of time working on integration of the two businesses, both in terms of R&D and informatics, and on the commercial side, Curetis have a more extensive U.S. distribution organization, so we're working to prepare for the launch of the OpGen products into the Curetis channel during 2020. We've been interacting with Curetis for over a year now, and a lot of that's been planning about well, what would it look like if we put the two businesses together. So the initial phases we have already plotted out in terms of what would you do in 2020 if the businesses were combined. And a lot of that's about execution on the programs that are already in place for the two businesses. So capitalizing on the Curetis FDA clearance for expanded indications, or in the case of OpGen, capitalizing on the FDA clearance for bacterial isolate testing and subsequently UTI. I think one of the really interesting and important areas is integrating our informatics platforms, where in the United States we've worked closely with our Lighthouse in the New York State Digital Health Initiative, and on the Curetis side they have the Ares Genetics business that has a corporate partner relationship underway. And one thing we'd like to do early in 2020 is hammer out a vision in terms of integrating the two platforms on the informatics side. What excites me the most is helping to make a difference in terms of this growing issue of antimicrobial resistance. It's one of the great challenges of our time. There have been recent data coming out from the CDC highlighting the number of deaths and morbidity from this challenge, and it's something we've really got to tackle. And the combined business has the opportunity to establish a global leadership position in this field with tests that are going to make a difference clinically, and the ability to distribute those products internationally and in the United States. And as an example, Curetis have a pending clearance in China for their low respiratory test. They've got a distribution relationship with Menarini in Europe, and certainly that bodes well for the Curetis business, but also on the OpGen side, we look forward to capitalizing some of those successes and opportunities for the OpGen products. Well, there's a rich portfolio of tests underway at the two companies. On the Curetis side, they have many publications highlighting the performance of their products. And I really think in the United States, there's some of the most exciting work on their side with data showing the clinical utility and benefits of their lower respiratory tests. That can help drive business. On the OpGen side, we look to publish the results from our initial demonstration of utility on the urinary tract infection product, but also our bacterial isolate FDA submission work. So there'll be a lot of publication work coming down through 2020, and that should be paralleled with regulatory clearances, extended indications for the Curetis products in terms of the low respiratory testing for BAL samples. On the OpGen side, first the anticipated clearance for bacterial isolate testing, and then the submission for urinary tract infection detection and providing the AMR genes for guiding treatment decisions. We've already started to leverage some of the knowledge from Curetis because they've gone through a lot of the same work that we have on the OpGen side in terms of 510(k)s for these high complexity molecular diagnostic tests. So we've put our two teams together. We've tried to gain knowledge from the Curetis team that will help us in the United States as we continue to answer questions in our AIR response from the FDA. Looking forward, I think one of the great opportunities for a synergy and benefit is to capitalize on the work that they did for their lower respiratory tests to speed up work on our urinary tract infection product, and then to combine the two teams. Right now you've got a situation where you have two emerging growth companies, both of which have invested in capabilities to do things such as regulatory submissions. That can be streamlined into one stronger group and focus in terms of moving forward regulatory milestones.